So I don't know about you, but I love a film with a happy ending. But anyway, let's talk about righting wrongs.
Hello and welcome to Woodshed Reviews, where we look at films old and new, good and bad. And today we're going to look at the Hong Kong action classic Righting Wrongs.
Any other alternative titles for this one?
Above the Law?
That's the one I read, yeah. Just one alternative title.
That I know of, yeah. I remember the VHS cover, Above the Law, a big picture of Cynthia Rothrock on the cover. You'd think it was just her film.
Marketed to the UK audience, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's partly why she's in the film, for that kind of crossover appeal, I suppose.
Well, this is directed by Corey Yuen, who also directed Rothrock in Yes, Madam. So this was made a year later.
Okay.
So it's another collaboration between the two of them.
But yeah, felt a bit more in keeping with that, possibly. Tonally different. We lost Cynthia Rothrock in the follow-up to Yes, Madam, so she's obviously busy doing this because it's around the same time, is it? You're a big Cynthia Rothrock fan, so this must have been an early one of hers, was it? So.
Yeah, it's fairly early, and I think she got a call back to reshoot the ending because it was so bleak. While she was shooting China O'Brien in the US.
I watched two versions of it, so I watched the original Hong Kong cut and then I think it's the ultimate cut, I think it's called.
Yeah.
So slightly different endings, with added scenes and stuff like that, which I think definitely benefits from. Yuen Biao is, I guess, our main guy. Cynthia Rothrock is our second lead, so he's a lawyer.
Yes, with a particular set of skills.
Yeah, fair enough. Then in England, apparently.
Was it England? Yeah, because I thought I saw the Hong Kong cut and it said England.
Yeah.
And then I watched the dubbed version and it said New Zealand at the start.
Yeah, it was probably, possibly it was filmed in New Zealand. I don't think it was filmed in England.
Yeah, it didn't quite feel like it.
No, it didn't feel like it. It didn't look like it. But Yuen is a lawyer. He's coming out of a court case congratulating his barrister friend or something about, you're really putting away the bad guys here. Unbeknownst to him, there's 3 assassins. So definitely getting this job done as a sniper with a very small sniper rifle. There's a guy with an accordion and there's another guy in a car with a machine gun waiting to take this lawyer friend out. Yeah,
so he's definitely had his day, this guy.
Well, I thought when he first gets sniped, I thought, maybe he's going to survive, and then, no, I think he's dead. And then immediately, Yuen Biao's character, Ha, is it? Different names in different versions.
Yeah, that's the problem with these things. I think it's Chang in the English dub version. We'll just maybe call him Yuen.
Yuen, okay, we'll go for that. He immediately goes into vigilante mode, chases the 3 assassins down, crashes the car, and immediately crosses the line as they're crawling out, shooting the petrol tank and incinerating them. So, no, quite an escalation.
Yeah.
So we're kind of set up his character right from the start. This is in 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, he's turned into full vigilante mode already.
I think I would have appreciated a little subtlety in there. Maybe an option where he could have crossed the line and he doesn't, and then there's repercussions from that.
Yeah, because his friend at the court, I just handed him a book of law. Go and study that, and he's just immediately thrown it over his shoulder.
Buy book. Subtlety would have been nice, but I guess this is an 80s Hong Kong action flick, so it's not going to happen.
No subtlety in this one.
No, just incinerate those bad guys. So he's already crossed the line, and then we kind of go back. No repercussions from that, because he's in Hong Kong immediately after that.
It's overseas, so it's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. The police just turned up and said, good, you got the bad guys. Enjoy your trip back to Hong Kong.
我现在已经没有其他有力证人来指控这2位先生走私贩毒、谋财害命的罪行。
So, yeah, he's doing a case in Hong Kong, but one of his witnesses, well, not just a witness, but his entire family.
4 of them are shot, and then, for good measure, he attaches a bomb to the apartment.
Blows up the kids.
That's nasty.
Yeah, this film is pulling no punches at this point. So if the previous incident wasn't enough, this has really pushed Yuen Biao over the edge. Although I like to think, I mean, he kind of reflects about what's happened and everything like that. And I kind of like to think that what pushed him over the edge was the young kid, Fatty.
叔叔，请你把球还给我好不好？
你叫什么名字？
我叫小派。
I mean, this is the 80s, great. So a young kid that comes up to him while he's kind of reminiscing about the family that he's lost, that were going up in court. I think he's kind of thinking, yeah, I'm going to do this for Fatty. You know, I'm gonna right some wrongs for Fatty. Make sure that the only thing he dies of is type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Poor kid.
拜拜。
拜拜。
But we get introduced to Cynthia Rothrock, who's kind of put in charge of tracking down this vigilante killer.
身为警务人员，就算明知道杀人的是罗宾汉，也一样要抓，实在很矛盾啊。
不矛盾呢，这件案子交给我好了。
So our vigilante, Yuen, he's got the crime lords after him for killing bad guys,
Yeah,
and he's got the cops after him.
yeah.
So Cynthia Rothrock's teamed up with this layabout cop called Joe Doe, who's
Okay.
played by Corey Yuen, the director.
Oh, is that the director? Is it? I recognise him. He's called Rotten Egg in the in the Hong Kong version.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And he's got a penchant for eating greasy fried chicken and just throwing it about all over the police station. But I guess it's to show that he's really is a kind of slob.
And he's slagging off Cynthia Rothrock, calling her ugly and all these kind of things.
两手像熊掌，脚像
像龙船。
哎，对了，脚像龙船。你会说国语啊？哎呦，哎呦。
Which I noticed there was something similar in Yes, Madam, which is called a few names.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
It's been an in-joke that's going on there.
yeah, possibly.
惡鬼婆唔似啊，身材咁 fit，踢得杯落啊！
And we're introduced to Bad Eggs,
Rotten Egg.
Rotten Egg.
I think it's Rotten Egg. I might be wrong.
Yeah, his father is was he a traffic cop or something?
He's in the police force, but he's not in a big. He's not like high up, but he's kind of well presented. He's sort of like embarrassed by his son.
Yeah.
There's all that kind of stuff going on, and I thought, oh, okay, this could be interesting. And then maybe there's going to be the Rotten Egg's going to pull his socks up and dust himself down and impress Cynthia and impress his dad.
哎，你干什么？
跟你做事啊。
用不着了，上面又高，风又大，免得让你老爸担心。留在这里看车子，这样安全一点。
We spent a bit of time with them and with his character and stuff, and it doesn't really go anywhere with that.
He seems quite a decent guy,
Yeah.
even though he's lazy.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy. He's not like corrupt or anything like that. He just can't be bothered, and he's not very good at his job, effectively.
师兄啊，不要用那么大力气啊！哎呦，哇！
I think they figure out that Ewan is basically the vigilante. He's told to keep an eye on him.
知道了，我最会跟小妞了。
我叫你跟那个男的。
She's doing some detective work and piecing some things together
Yeah.
to sort of track him down through like traffic tickets and all that kind of stuff.
After he's assassinated someone in a high-rise building.
Yeah. One of the higher-ups in this, I guess they're a crime syndicate who have evaded justice at this point. Yeah, so he's keeping tags on him. And there's another kid that's brought into it, a young kind of like pickpocketer who's hustling on the street to take care of his sick grandpa. There was missing scenes with the grandpa in the original cut that added to this super cut, which kind of made it a bit more sense, but it wasn't the best sequence ever between him and his gramps, I think he calls him.
你要是再这么凶的话，我去投诉组告你，用不着在这受气。你
We need to mention that like the guy that's kind of pulling all the strings is like the
Superintendent, yeah, played by Melvin Wong.
So we kind of get that reveal partway through the film, and the young kid kind of recognizes him and puts two and two together.
He's kind of hiding when Wong murders somebody. The kid realizes he's a corrupt cop and he's working with the crime lords.
So he's put in an awkward position, but then he tries to off him and kills his grandpa. And then Joe is also, unceremoniously shot in the face. and that's him. And then his dad is called to the crime scene, even though they know what he's about to walk into. None of them warn him.
Yeah.
Or say maybe you shouldn't go in there and maybe you should have a sit down. That was my kind of weakest point of the film, I think. It's like if you take that out, it doesn't really change anything other than to make the film quite bleak. And as we'll probably get into it, it's pretty bleak enough as it is.
其实老爸也不反对你出去。
Yeah, we've got some incredible action sequences. I think one of the first ones was that I really enjoyed was the one in the parking lot.
Yeah, it was really good. I don't know if you noticed that, like, even I think they had a cameraman in a position that you had to kind of, like, at the last minute as a car goes over the balcony. I thought they maybe just had, like, set up a camera, but it seems to be there's a cameraman there, and you see a last couple of frames, the cameraman's like, oh, better get out of there. So they're obviously kind of taking a few risks there, possibly. Hopefully not too serious.
I think there's quite a few risks in this film, judging by some of the shots.
I think there might have been something that went, ooh, that was a bit nasty, that could have been pretty bad, but well, yeah, we've filmed it now. We might as well keep it in. Nobody died, I don't think.
Not that I'm aware of.
Unlike all the characters in this film. Yeah, so the young kid is also assassinated.
This is a scene with a martial artist, Karen Shepherd.
Yeah.
This is our first film, I think it was.
Yeah, who's kind of blackmailing our main bad guy at this point, the chief inspector who's corrupt. He's like, if you give me $1 million, whatever, dollars or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So he says, yeah, okay, and he sends an assassin who assassinates him, you know.
Yeah, and Cynthia Rothrock's there, but she's too far away to do anything about it.
Yeah.
But she gives chase.
We get a great fight scene.
Yeah, a few painful shots.
I noticed when she's flying through the air, I noticed that was it looked like a guy that was doing that.
Yeah, they didn't even put a wig on. I mean, they should have put a blonde wig on or something.
Yeah.
There's a great fight between the two of them in an apartment, and there's a dead body there, and they even use the dead body as a prop.
I always like that kind of stuff. A little bit of Weekend at Bernie's fun, you know.
Yeah.
It's always appreciated. Was one of the other films I watched that had a little bit of that in a hospital room, but it didn't quite capitalise on it as well as it did here. I like Cynthia's introduction where she's taking on 4 guys and handcuffs them all to like a chair or to each other's legs and stuff with one pair of handcuffs. It's pretty good.
I think she must have sneaked a second pair in there somehow, but yeah, that was impressive.
One pair. Yeah, it was funny.
小姐，别这么凶啊，当心你嫁不出去。
The fight scenes were amazing. They were perfect length, and they were just really well choreographed.
Yeah, going into a film like this, I'm looking for a reasonable story that I can follow, and to, you know, let's not get too complicated or anything like that. Let's not get too clever, or let's have decent characters that stay reliable and act in character and all that kind of stuff. And then plenty of fighting and action scenes.
Yeah.
And delivered, you know. That's all I'm looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
徐志明的死，我也跟你一样难过。我可以对天发誓，我会搜集证据，抓凶手归案的。
证据？徐志明已经死了，这算不算证据？
Yeah, she needs to take down Yuen Biao's character because he's obviously crossed the line and all that, but it's like bigger fish to fry at this point. And then they have to go and track our main bad guy down to a small aircraft hangar.
Yeah.
Because
He's going to get away.
how do they know he's there? What's he doing there fixing planes? I was hoping that you might have had some insight into that.
No, I think it just came out of the blue. They just hear that he's attempting to get away.
Listen to me, you. While we're shouting at each other, Wangsman's probably heading for the airport in this private plane to get away.
I missed that twice.
Yeah.
So I think I blame myself the first time. I'm going to blame the film the second time.
夏明正，你给我仔细的听着，我比你更恨这些人。你这种以牙还牙的方法，你别以为我不会做。
Well, the first cut I watched was the extended ultimate cut, so the one with the bleak ending.
Either way, I mean, whether Cynthia Rothrock lives or dies in it, it's kind of still a bleak ending for Yuen Biao's character.
Yeah, there's no happy ending for him at all, really.
No.
Apart from maybe the the English dub version.
The jury finds you guilty of manslaughter. You're sentenced to 8 years in prison.
All the other versions, he's jailed.
Properly.
本席宣判被告无期徒刑，终身监禁。
In the Hong Kong cut, he dies. You know, the bad guy goes off in a plane. There's a scuffle in the plane.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones style, you know, sort of things going on. And that was all great. But then he has to bail out of the plane quite a height. Obviously, falling 1,000 feet or something into water. You know, we're not playing Fortnite here. You know, you kind of tend to die from that.
Yeah, but I thought obviously he's going to survive, but no.
No, he doesn't in one version, and it's quite realistic. And he's like, yeah, he's dead because he's hit the water at whatever speeds, you know,
Yeah.
terminal velocity from that height. But then another version, he does survive. He's pulled out of the water. He's resuscitated, and there's just a quick kind of, he goes up to court and gets, you know,
终身监禁。
and with her Cynthia Rothrock, she gets a kind of corkscrew drill in the neck.
That was horrible.
One part. Another one, she kind of survives it, but she doesn't really have anything to do. All in, I kind of preferred everyone dying, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first version I saw, and that's the one I thought was just unbelievable. I thought I hadn't seen anything like that for a while. Pretty grim.
Yeah, I think regardless of what version you watch, even like young children are bombed at the start, the young kid, thief with a heart of gold, just killed, rotten egg, Jodo or whatever, you know, a good cop doesn't really do anything wrong. He's killed. Everybody dies. And righting wrongs, more or less, dependent on the version that you watch.
Yeah, I look forward to watching again and just putting on a random ending, see what happens.
So if you've watched two versions, I've watched two versions, but we've crossed over with one, so there must be a third version that we haven't seen.
There's a version where Cynthia lives and he dies, and the version where he lives and she dies. And then there's a version where they both live, and then one where they both die.
Okay, so, you know, hey, maybe that's the future of films. Take your pick, you know, what do you want? Buy your ticket for, do you want the happy ending or the crappy ending?
Or mystery ending.
Yeah, you could buy a mystery raffle ticket. You don't know what you're going to get. Okay, so that is Righting Wrongs or Above the Law, and no one's above the law in this film.
Yeah, not to be mistaken with the Steven Seagal film, also called Above the Law.
Okay, we'll do that later.
We should watch a few Steven Seagal films.
Definitely. Okay, we'll give our ratings to Righting Wrongs. I'll let you go first this time.
Yeah, for this kind of film, exploitation, Hong Kong action film, it's hugely entertaining. I'm going to go for 4 logs.
Cool, okay, yep. I'm going to say 3.5. As I said, it kind of delivered everything I was looking for in a film like this, more or less. Plenty of action, plenty of stunts, plenty of fights. You know, story you could follow decently enough, strong enough characters within that world and everything. Maybe kind of, I think Yuen Biao and Cynthia Rothrock are a little lost in it for a bit. Not too bad. Not by any stretch of imagination, but I would have liked to seen a bit more of them and their dynamic. I think that way it might have nudged it up a bit. But I think 3.5's fair.
Yeah, definitely.
So I will go with that. And yeah, there was no follow-ups to this, was there?
No.
Cool.
Yeah, check it out if you love Hong Kong action.
Yep, but for now, that's all we've got for you. Let us know if you agreed with our review of Righting Wrongs, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye.